In this video, we're going to look at how to solve equations using different methods. In part A, it says to use the graph of y equals cosine of t to estimate two solutions of the equation cosine of t is equal to negative 0.4. Show your solutions on the graph. So first of all, notice that we have cosine of t on the left-hand side of the equation, and over here is a graph of y is equal to cosine of t. On the right-hand side of the equation, we have minus 0.4. So what we're going to do is to sketch a graph of y is equal to negative 0.4. Its graph is just a horizontal line at y is equal to negative 0.4. Now the solutions to the equation will be where these two graphs intersect each other. So we have one point of intersection here and a second one here. The first one appears to be at 2, and the second one is somewhere between 4 and 4.5. I would say it looks like it's at about 4.3. So for part A, we have t is equal to 2, or t is equal to 4.3. In part B, it says use the unit circle to estimate two solutions of the equation cosine of t is equal to negative 0.4. Show your solutions on the circle. So same equation, but just using the figure on the left instead of the graph on the right. So what we need to recall is that on the unit circle, x is equal to the cosine of t. So what we'll want to do is to sketch a vertical line at x is equal to negative 0.4. Now that we've sketched x is equal to negative 0.4, we just have to determine where it intersects the unit circle. The first place it intersects the unit circle is at 2, and the second place is down here near the bottom of the circle, and it looks like it's at about 4.123. At 4.3. So we get exactly the same values as we got before, just thinking about it in a little bit different way. So for part B, exact same solutions. T is equal to 2, or t is equal to 4.3. Now these are just rough estimates, so I do want to show you a way to get more precise values. One way is to use a graphing calculator like Desmos. The first thing we'll do is check to make sure that our calculator is in radian mode. Then we can enter the left-hand side of the equation, which was y is equal to cosine of. Now, our equation had cosine of t, but with Desmos we need to enter cosine of x. And then our other equation is y is equal to negative 0.4. I'm going to drag the graph over and zoom in. We're interested in the solutions between 0 and 6. If we click on the first one, it's right around 2, but we see that with our calculator we have a better estimate, 1.982. The second one is close to 4.3, but the calculator says that a better approximation is 4.301. Now we can also solve the problem algebraically by taking the inverse cosine or the arc cosine of both sides of our equation. That'll give us t is equal to the arc cosine of negative 0.4. And notice that arc cosine of negative 0.4, it gives us one of the solutions, the one that's close to 2. Unfortunately, it doesn't give us the second one. So my recommendation is to take the absolute value of negative 0.4, which is 0.4, and that'll actually give us the reference angle. Our reference angle is 1.159. So let's go back to our figure. 1.159 is about 1.2. So on the unit circle, I'm going to go to 1.2 and plot a point there. And that will actually be our reference angle. And if we draw our angles at the other 2 points, you can see to get the solution at 2, we would have to go half of a circle, which would be pi, and then take away our reference angle, and that would bring us back to 2. So in Desmos, we can take pi and subtract the arc cosine of 0.4. And that gives us our 1.982. Similarly, to get our solution in the third quadrant, we can go halfway around the circle, but instead of going back 1.2, we go forward 1.2. So we take pi and we add our reference angle, and that gives us our 4.3008 solution.